Hey guys! Welcome to the channel. Before I start this What If Naruto Awakened the Sharingan video, I would like to note some things here. There will just be one major change to the plot, compared to the canon series. It's a major change, but I don't want to completely warp everything that happened up to the point of divergence. The point of divergence is connected to one major change. Minato was an Uchiha, but no one knew. Born during the war, his parents were killed and no one knew that one of them was an Uchiha. Because he didn't inherit their physical traits. Everything after that point remains the same. Minato never awakened the Sharingan, not all Uchiha do, prodigy or not, and still married Kushina, the Kyuubi is sealed within Naruto, etc. Naruto's personality will remain the same, or as accurate as I can get it, save for the impact awakening his own Sharingan would have on him. Since I don't exactly want to go back and copy the start of the show word for word, there will probably be some inaccuracies in the speeches given. I'll also probably give Naruto a little more basic knowledge than he had in canon, specifically things like bloodlines and jutsus. A kid so obsessed with being a powerful Hokage would, no doubt, be obsessed with cool powers. I won't make him a genius, at least not without build-up, but he will know some things. If anyone catches the reference of the title, yes, he will awaken that ability. However, I'm torn over how. But I'll get to that later.
The night after graduation day You are the nine-tailed fox spirit that destroyed the village, came the voice of his, now former, teacher, Mizuki. Upon hearing those words, the blonde child fell down, his world having shattered around him. The blonde's name is Naruto Uzumaki, Konohagaku's resident prankster and outcast. He had been tricked into stealing a village treasure, lied to by his own teacher, and worst of all, learned a secret that number 12-year-old should have to deal with. Naruto couldn't hear anything after those words. All the other words spoken were little more than echoes in the far reaches of his consciousness. He vaguely heard Iruka-sensei, his kind teacher, denying it, but none of it registered, until he saw a massive shuriken flying down at him. At that moment, the world slowed down and he felt a burning sensation in his eyes. But it didn't matter, he'd already accepted his death. Even if his body could keep up with his new perceptions, he didn't have the will to save his own life. So he closed his eyes. I'm a monster. Those were the only words running through his mind, over and over, until he felt something warm dripping down on his head. Am I dead? He thought, before opening his eyes and seeing something he never expected. He wanted to scream, to run and get help. But only one word managed to come out of his mouth. Why? Iruka was looking down at Naruto, blood dripping from his mouth and tears dripping from his eyes. You'd expect them to be because of the massive weapon lodged in his back. But that wasn't it. These weren't tears of pain, they were tears of sadness and guilt. All he could do was think about his own past, and how he could have better helped Naruto. And then Naruto's single-word question really reached him. Did he just ask me why? Why I saved him? This boy, this poor child, didn't even expect to be saved. He accepted his death, and was shocked when someone saved him. How could any child Iruka began to think, and then he noticed Naruto's eyes. At first he thought it was a trick of the light, then he feared it was the Kyuubi's influence, but he felt no evil chakra coming from them. No, there was only one, impossible, conclusion for why Naruto's eyes looked the way they did, red with 2 tomo in each eye. The Sharingan. Iruka gasped out at last, breaking the silence that had occurred after Naruto's question, what? Naruto asked, caught completely off guard by his teacher's words. He knew what the Sharingan was, who didn't know about it? It was one of the 3 great dojutsu, belonging to the nearly extinct clan of the kid he claimed was his rival. But why had his teacher mentioned it, your eyes? It's the Sharingan, Iruka started, before being cut off by Mizuki, lies. Those are the eyes of the demon fox. It's taking over his body. Mizuki shouted, as he jumped down from the tree and removed his shuriken from Iruka's back. Why would you protect him, Iruka? He killed your parents, so many others in the village, and even the Yondaime Hokage. I know you hate the fox as much as everyone else in the village. Mizuki ranted, lifting Iruka and pushing him against a tree, causing Iruka to wince as his injury made contact with the tree. You're right. Iruka shouted, causing Naruto to wince before Iruka continued. I do hate the fox. But Naruto isn't the fox. He's Naruto Uzumaki, and maybe now, with the Sharingan, he could even learn to control the fox for the good of everyone else. He says he's going to be the Hokage, and I believe that he can do it. Iruka's words caused Mizuki to truly look at Naruto's eyes, and he was shocked by what he saw. Iruka was right, it is the Sharingan. How is this possible? Lord Orochimaru mentioned how much he wanted the Sharingan. Maybe I could take his eyes to Lord Orochimaru with the scroll, and he'd be grateful enough to grant me even more power. Mizuki thought, but failed to notice Naruto's eyes go from shocked to determined. Iruka-sensei. Naruto muttered, he really does care about me. He believes in me, I can't let him down. Naruto thought, and unknowingly began to cast a genjutsu when Mizuki looked into his eyes. On Mizuki's end, he saw the pupils in Naruto's eyes turn to fox-like slits, keeping the tomo on either side of the slits. Then he saw Naruto's form grow more and more fox-like, as 9 tails grew one by one from behind him. Eventually, he saw Naruto turn into the full Kyuubi before passing out from the fear. In the real world, Mizuki was muttering, Kyuubi. Demon, while passed out on the ground. That was the scene Hiruzen Sarutobi, the Sandaime Hokage, and his ANBU witnessed when they reached the clearing, Iruka bleeding against a tree. While Naruto was sitting on the ground in front of a passed-out and delirious Mizuki, the scroll still in Naruto's arms, Hiruzen approached Naruto, putting a hand on his shoulder while he took the scroll back, and motioned his ANBU to heal Iruka before asking the question on all of their minds. What happened here, Naruto? He already knew about Mizuki's betrayal, and how Naruto was tricked, so he didn't expect any surprises. However, when Naruto looked at him, he had to double-take. Your eyes. Naruto, finally letting the shock wear off, started trying to act like his normal self. Hey old man. Why does everyone keep saying weird things about my eyes? Naruto asked. He could feel that something was different, and he could see a weird aura in people, but he hadn't actually seen his eyes since they changed. Mizuki-sen he started, before catching himself at the sensei part. Mizuki and Iruka-sensei both mentioned the Sharingan, but that's impossible, right? Don't only Uchiha have Sharingan? Unless I'm so awesome that I awakened it completely on my own. Naruto rambled. Not wanting to bring up anything about the fox, Hiruzen, finally snapping out of his shock, ran through a few hand signs and pulled water from the surrounding plants, creating a floating puddle for Naruto to look at his reflection in. Here, Naruto, look at your eyes in this, wow. Naruto gasped, staring at his eyes in his reflection. I really do have the Sharingan. Does this make me an Uchiha? Am I related to Sasuke? Do I actually have some family left? Well, that remains to be seen. Now, how about we take this scroll back where it belongs, and get Iruka some help? You've had a very long night, you need some rest too. Hiruzen told him, and then noticed as Naruto's Sharingan deactivated and tears began to form in his eyes. But I failed again. Mizuki told me I could G-graduate if I learned the J-jutsu from the scroll. If he was lying, I can never be a shinobi. Naruto stuttered, the night hitting him all at once. And he told me I'm a M-monster, I'm the Kyuubi. You learned a jutsu from the scroll? Which one? Hiruzen asked him. He loved the boy like a grandson, but to hear that the dead last of the academy learned the forbidden jutsu in one night, the shadow clone jutsu, really? You learned the shadow clone jutsu? Hiruzen asked, amazed. Could you show it to me, I guess? Naruto muttered, and made the sign for the jutsu. Shadow clone jutsu, he yelled, and suddenly an exact copy of himself appeared in a cloud of smoke. See, old man? I'm sorry for taking the scroll. Though, I just really wanted to dash. He was cut off when he saw Hiruzen pull out a blue forehead protector and watched as Hiruzen handed it to him. I think this belongs to you, Naruto. It's the forehead protector of the Yondaime Hokage, the one who dash. He was cut off by an excited Naruto, the Yondaime Hokage. Really? He's the coolest. That. Naruto trailed off, finally remembering what Mizuki told him. But Mizuki told me I'm the Kyuubi. Why would you give his forehead protector to the one who killed him? Hiruzen looked at the boy, and then looked at Mizuki still muttering and knocked out on the ground. Good riddance, he deserves hell for what he did to this poor child, he thought, and looked back at Naruto. Naruto, he started, and realized Naruto was looking everywhere but his face. Naruto, look me in my eyes, he told him, grabbing the boy's attention. You are not the Kyuubi. You are Naruto Uzumaki. The Yondaime Hokage, Minato Namikaze, sacrificed his life to stop the Kyuubi. However, the Kyuubi is just a mass of chakra. If he had killed it, it would have just reformed and attacked once more. The only way to stop it was to seal it within someone. He sealed it within you, Naruto. You are not the Kyuubi, you are its jailer. Those who can't see the difference, like Mizuki here, are idiots. And with those new eyes of yours, you may even be able to use its power for the good of others. He sealed it in me? Why? Why me? Hiruzen stared at Naruto, considering whether or not to tell him the truth. Because of his Sharingan. We'll have to test his blood anyways, to see which side of the family it's from. He deserves to know the truth. Hiruzen thought, staring at Naruto. Even with the Sharingan, there's no doubt about who his father is. He may have Uchiha blood, but he has the same blonde hair and striking blue eyes as Minato. Well, Naruto, this is a secret, and you would be in danger if it gets out. You have to promise me you won't say anything. Hiruzen told him, staring into his eyes. Yeah. I promise, and I never go back on my word. All right, Naruto. The truth is that the Kyuubi had to be sealed within a child, when their body could still adapt to its power. But Minato couldn't ask just anyone for their child. Not if he wouldn't seal it within his own child. Hiruzen waited for the look of realization on Naruto's face, the reaction to the revelation he was told, sealed it in. His son? His son. I'm the Yondaime's son. Naruto exclaimed, and took the blue headband from Hiruzen, tying it around his own head. Was he an Uchiha? Naruto asked, reactivating and deactivating his new eyes. Do I have to keep my eyes a secret, too? Hiruzen smiled at Naruto. With his headband on, he looked like a spitting image of his parents. Minus the whisker marks and Sharingan, at least. Well, I'm actually not sure which of your parents was the Uchiha. I'm guessing it was Minato, though an Uchiha without dark hair and eyes is nearly unheard of. Your mother, Kushina Uzumaki, who you got your last name from, came from another lost clan. I doubt she was an Uchiha, especially since she wasn't born in this village, but we can talk about her after we get Mizuki to the interrogation department. I won't ask you to keep your Sharingan secret, especially since it could improve your standing in the village. Hiruzen motioned for the remaining ANBU to take Mizuki, and he helped Naruto up. Now, how about you return home? You've had a long night and have team assignments in the morning. Hiruzen told him, and they left the forest, team assignments, the next day. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura were all sitting in the classroom. Everyone else had left, hours ago, with their own jonin teachers. And theirs had yet to arrive. Naruto stared at Sasuke. After last night, when he awakened his Sharingan, he just wanted to go up and talk to him. However, he was still Naruto Uzumaki. Imagine how hilarious it'll be when he sees my Sharingan. It'll be like an ultimate prank, and with my Sharingan active his reaction will be permanently in my head. He vaguely heard Sakura complaining about their teacher being late, but he didn't care. He was too busy thinking about how hilarious it'll be when he shows Sasuke. At that same moment, Kakashi Hatake was finally making his way towards the classroom. He was 3 hours late, like usual, and was expecting some kind of prank once he made it to the door. He'd heard about his sensei's son, of course, and knew he was known as a prankster. He'd yet to learn about the events of the previous night, probably because a certain old Hokage wanted to watch Kakashi's priceless reaction to his sensei's son Sharingan through his crystal ball. Kakashi, however, was moderately disappointed when he walked through the door without being pranked. Sakura was yelling at him. Sasuke looked annoyed, but Naruto's reaction was the one he noticed. A foxy, mischievous grin. The same grin he saw whenever he watched over him before one of his pranks while he was in the ANBU. My first impression of all of you is, you're boring. Meet me on the roof, and Kakashi disappeared in a swirl of leaves, leaving 3 stunned students. The roof, minutes later, up on the roof. Now, I'd like you all to tell us a little about yourselves. Kakashi started, looking at his 3 prospective students. Like what? Sakura asked him. You know, the usual. Your favorite things, what you hate, dreams, ambitions, hobbies. Things like that. He told her, waiting for someone to start. Well, why don't you go first, sensei? Naruto asked, wanting to learn more about his teacher. I read about him. He was trained by my dad. I wonder what he's like. I also heard he has the Sharingan somehow. Maybe his reaction will be priceless too. That's right, you're a complete mystery to us. Sakura told him, still upset over him being hours late. Oh, me. Well, my name is Kakashi Hatake. I have no desire to tell you my likes and dislikes. I don't really know what my dream for the future is, and I have lots of hobbies. All 3 just stared at him blankly. Now it's your turn, let's start on the right, he said, and motioned to Naruto. Yo. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. I love instant ramen, training, and pranking. He smirked at the last part, impatiently waiting for the chance to show Sasuke. I hate the 3 minutes it takes for ramen to cook, he continued, and then glanced at Sasuke. Didn't his brother kill our clan? I could have had more family, he thought, and his eyes flashed red for less than a second, catching Kakashi's attention before returning to their usual blue. And I hate anyone who would kill my family. What was that? That flash of red? Was it the Kyuubi? But I couldn't feel any evil chakra coming from him. Kakashi thought. Narrowing his visible eye at Naruto, Sakura ignored him, but Sasuke narrowed his eyes with Kakashi, but for a different reason. He hadn't been looking, but he'd heard Naruto and the drop in his voice. He sounded like me? I thought he was always an orphan. What family does he have? Something's different about him, Sasuke thought, before Naruto returned to his usual happy self. And my dream is to become the greatest Hokage. I want to have the people of this village respect me, and I want to bring honor to my family. He finished. I hope the other 2 don't look into the part about my family too much. And I'm sure Kakashi already knows, so it should be fine, right? If not, I'll just say I was talking about the Uchiha after I showed them my Sharingan. Does he know about his father? Did Lord Third tell him? If he's talking about Kakashi began to think. But was interrupted. Family? You're an orphan. You don't even have friends. My parents always told me to stay away from Sakura began, but she was interrupted by the last person any of them expected. Sasuke, shut up, Sakura, Sasuke yelled, surprising her. Yes, Naruto is an orphan, but so am I. He's annoying as hell, sure, but why does everyone treat him like a monster and treat me like a prince? Neither of us asked for this. He yelled at her, and then an uncomfortable silence spread across the rooftop. Sakura just sat there, shocked by the emotion in his voice. Shocked that he'd stick up for the dead last of their class. And, most of all, shocked at how much she angered him. He's right, she thought, and looked over at Naruto. He looks surprised. But not at me. He looks like he's shocked that anyone would stick up for him. And I've just been yelling at him for years. Because I thought it's what Sasuke would like. They just sat there, until the silence was finally broken by Naruto. Hey, Sasuke. Thank you for sticking up for me, but it's all right. I'm used to it. I'll just have to prove her and everyone else wrong. When I'm Hokage, they'll just have to eat their words. The last part was said with his usual confidence, but none of them missed the sadness in his voice at the start. What kind of life have you lived, Naruto? Kakashi thought to himself, even though he could easily guess. All right, now how about we calm down? Let's go to the next person, he told them. And motioned for Sasuke to go. Sasuke sat there, and recollected himself before he introduced himself. My name is Sasuke Uchiha. There are lots of things I dislike. And I don't particularly like anything. I don't have a dream, I have a goal. An ambition. I will resurrect my clan and kill a certain man. Sasuke's ambition wasn't as bright as Naruto's, but Kakashi could hear the similarities. They both held the same confidence and the same loneliness. It went unnoticed by Sakura, who was still shocked over Sasuke yelling at her. "All right, you next, girl," Kakashi said, and motioned towards Sakura. Sakura sat there for a moment, before finally finding words to say. "My name is Sakura Haruno. I like flowers and dislike." What Sasuke said was really getting to her, and she couldn't think of much else at the moment. "I dislike my own ignorance. I think my dream for the future is to. I want to get to know people better, without basing my opinions off of the opinions of others." She finished, shocking the boys. It seems like what Sasuke said really got to her. Maybe this team will actually pass my teamwork test? Kakashi thought, and then stood up. "All right, then. Well, I have to inform you all that you're not exactly genin yet. There's still one more test you have to pass. Meet me tomorrow at Training Field 7, at 10 o'clock. There, I'll decide whether you're really worth those headbands you were given. Oh, and don't eat breakfast." With that, Kakashi disappeared in another swirl of leaves. Leaving the three alone on the roof, well. He was cool. "Thanks again, Sasuke. Do you two want to go get our first dinner as a team?" Naruto asked the two other prospective genin. "Maybe another day, Naruto." Sasuke told him, and left before anyone could say anything. Why did I stick up for him? I just feel like there's some connection there? And what did he mean by bringing honor to his family? He almost sounded like me? Sasuke thought, as he left the academy roof and walked out of the building. Back on the roof, Sakura was sitting silently and Naruto was just watching her, confused. Until, finally, she broke the silence that settled after Sasuke left. "Naruto. I'm sorry. I didn't realize how rude I was actually being. And I'm sorry, but I can't get dinner tonight. Maybe all three of us can get food if we pass Kakashi's test tomorrow?" Sakura told him, "It's all right. Like I said, I'm used to it. And we'll definitely pass tomorrow, believe it." With that, Naruto and Sakura both left the roof and the building. Sakura heading home while Naruto headed to the Hokage building. The third Hokage asked to see him after team assignments, so they could test his blood and see how it is related to the Uchiha, and told him they could talk about his parents. "Alright, this is my first fan fiction video, so feel free to give me any suggestions you have. And about this what if, I don't want to do any character bashing, but I may have exaggerated Sakura's bitchiness she had at the start so that I could give her a turning point more quickly. I don't dislike her character, but IMO she was a lot better later on in the show. I think I'll give her some genjutsu training. That way she can have some skills before Tsunade shows up. I'll still have her train with Tsunade. Because that was probably her biggest turning point. As for Sasuke, I don't want to exaggerate his dick-like personality. He'll still be an ass because that's just kind of who he is, but I'm thinking that he'll feel less alone once he finds out Naruto is an Uchiha, even if he starts by being jealous of the Sharingan. Now, for Naruto. Yes, I do want to give him the mangyeko Sharingan, and I mainly want to give him Kamui, hence the title, since Kamui is authority of the gods. However, I won't make him insanely OP. He won't immediately master using Kamui, like Obito did. I'm not sure how to handle the blindness. I'm thinking of making Kurama help with it, but that feels like a cop-out. I'm also unsure of how to give him the mangyeko to begin with. I thought about having him awaken it when Sasuke dies at the bridge, but that also feels like a cop-out. So there's a lot of things I still need to decide about this, and I'm more than willing to accept opinions and advice. As far as Kurama, as much as I love his friendship with Naruto, they'll have even rockier of a start since Kurama hates the cursed eyes. However, thanks to his Sharingan, he'll be better equipped to try and keep Kurama's rage contained. It won't be perfect until much later, assuming I get that far, which I hope I do. Lastly, subscribe to the channel to not miss the second part. I will upload the next part soon enough, so see you there.